Loot.bet.
Do you want to become the best Dota player you can be? DotaHaven.com.
Hey guys, it's Killer Pigeon here at the Kuala Lumpur Major, and sitting beside me, of course, is Kips Bull. Any other nicknames you want to go by?
No, that Kips is good.
No, okay, then we'll list off, I think, coach, analyst of multiple varieties. Of course, she's recently been at Dream League, then before that she was the coach for Vega, now analyst for TnC. You boys are doing good.
They're doing so good, I'm so proud of them.
And I mean, we had them on a little bit earlier. They said most of your communications with Ninjaboogie, especially. So, give us a quick rundown of a day in the life of Kips at the moment.
Well, at the moment I've spent a lot of time being sick, so it's not the usual routine.
Okay, that's a very. So don't give us too much. Don't paint a picture of that.
No.
Paint a picture of what it would have been like if it wasn't for the sick.
Usually it's just you get up in the morning, you breakfast with everyone, then you guys usually play a warm-up game for either scrims or an actual official match. Especially in the group stage, it was just go immediately and play everything today. Which was rough, by the way. You just played the entire group stage bracket on one day.
Yeah, that's like how long were the days? I think someone said it was getting close to like 17 hours on one day.
Yeah, it was crazy. You started before noon and you ended after 12. So we were actually, I can't say we're happy that we didn't have to play a decider match for the upper bracket, that we were just lower bracket immediately. But on the other hand, all of our games were 45 minutes plus, and 4 out of 5 were a throw.
TnC are known for not liking the high ground.
Yeah, if we didn't have that reputation before, we sure as hell have now.
You know, everyone's got someone, right? Alliance is going to be rat heroes, you know?
Yeah.
VP, rapid aggression. TnC, high ground. Sorry, I'm allergic to that. I need to go get my shots.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But yeah, you play your games, you go have dinner with everyone. And right now we have one game a day. Usually it's the guys are playing games, they're scrimming, I'm doing stats, looking at replays. And usually I talk to Ninjaboogie like a couple moments throughout the day. He's a very relaxed guy. I think he's great captain material, actually. He clearly has everything under control. He exudes this kind of, I got this
He
attitude.
just leans back, it's like, Kips, stop worrying about game 1 through 5.
No,
the rest.
not like that. Not like that. Like, I always get a bit irritated when people tell me not to worry, because worrying about stuff is literally my job.
Okay, let me do it. Kips, you should worry about game 1 through 5. You're doing terribly.
A bit, yeah, a bit. So he's like, all right, okay, look at this, look at this. I ask him the details, what does he want to know? And by now, the communication is very clear. There's something I love about TnC is that criticism and, asking people to do things differently is received as, it's all very welcome. Everyone is very happy to give and receive that sort of communication instead of people feeling attacked or people being, defensive or shy to give advice in case it's seen as an attack, which is, well, I'm going to be honest, which is very refreshing after some of the things that I noticed in Russia, where people were very, I say they didn't like receiving feedback from me, and especially they didn't want to give me feedback because they felt that was impolite. And I was sitting there like, tell me what I can do better next time. I'm just like, no, you're doing fine.
Hey, attention, folks. 3 questions is going to turn into Kips tells all as you.
Always.
There'll be tissues and it's like, and Vega on site, they said that I can't even repeat it.
I wish they told me that.
I wish they just said these horrible things.
A bit. Yeah.
So,
because I did that to them as well. Don't think that I am
You're not innocent in
No,
this.
of course not.
Because I'd have to go get them. I'd pull them and it's like, Vega, okay, we've got one side of the story. I mean, I'd be fine with that. That'd be like another gig, so that would just be me flying places. That's good. But
Well, none of those players are on Vega.
that's true.
Yes,
Get the
Vega Squadron.
we'll get the manager, more drama. Wow, CEO, go right to the top. But yeah, of course, those are the players who stack now. The players you work with all scattered the high winds across the CIS region,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you were hoping to headhunt a few of them.
Well, headhunt. Yeah, like right now, as it looks with TnC, maybe I'll be doing more tournaments with them, which means that my project of building a team of my own will be a little bit on the back foot. But Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed working with a couple of guys in Vega. And for example, Blizzy, who went to Navi, he was for me like the prospect I was the most neutral about when he gave it to our team, and the one that I was actually the most enthusiastic about by the time it ended, because that guy had just played solidly through everything, all the ups and downs. He always did his job, and as a result, he got hired into Navi.
Yeah, he's definitely been showing himself to be very capable on that team. A lot of people were surprised by how well he's been doing. Of course, another person I know you speak fondly of is Zayats.
Yeah.
Like you make it sound like he's your little prodigy.
Yeah, Sides. But he is. Like, I expect him to be a big deal in a couple of years. But right now, he needs to work on his English, he needs to work on his leadership capabilities. He is clearly not there yet. But then again, the guy's, like, is he 20 now? He might still be 19. So
He might still be 19, yeah.
I'll give him some time.
We'll give him an extra year, potentially, there. But, of course, so you say you're thinking about hanging around with TnC for longer, which means that does put you on the back burner in terms of creating your own dream team, the Kips team. But do you maybe potentially see yourself moving into the coach role, or are you just happy and content with analysts? Is there any secret takeover plans?
Takeover? No. Those guys got their stuff sorted. But, like, if I actually commit to them for the full year, I would say that I want
Put a ring on
more
this thing.
responsibility. Yeah. We're making this
Yeah.
official.
It's like, okay, you want long term,
Yeah, exactly.
stick up the finger.
I want a stone. A nice one.
It's a fair way of looking at it.
No, but it's loyalty is how do you say, loyalty is easy when times are easy, but I have other things that I could be doing. I have other teams that might be interested to me. Yeah. So then, sure, we'd have to talk about it a little bit, because right now this is mostly. How do you say? They qualified, they asked me, but I am not actually, I haven't worked with the team before this at all. I haven't gone to the Philippines. And especially after 2 years of being away from home, I would rather stick with him only sometimes. And if I have to go to the Philippines every time, it's rough, it wears on me.
Yeah.
So,
It's a completely different lifestyle away from everything you're familiar with.
We'd have to see a little bit, because I have made that sacrifice for a long time now, but I am more careful about it now. So it's all like it's a give and take, but to see how much they have to give me and to see how much I want to give them. And luckily, because it's TnC, we can talk about all of that. It's all very natural, so I'm very appreciative of them for that.
So, because you're half on the ball, shall we say, a little bit back and forth, how's the casting career looking? Because you got a taste of it in Dream League.
Yeah.
You're rearing for more of it, is the question.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
I'd like to do more. Dream League was very, very good in terms of feedback, especially, and in terms of just, they throw you in the deep and they'll see if you come up swimming. I'd say I came up for air, but I can't say it was like, I don't think I knocked it out of the park. I definitely had
Long
stuff to work
days.
on.
Very
yeah,
long
it's
days.
such long days, and I definitely felt like I was not my best for like half of them.
Yeah, that was my big worry going to that, is that like we were casting it a little bit before. We got there, I was like, I've done these long days before, and I know Kips would have done these long days as a different kind of analyst,
Yeah.
where you
But
can just.
I don't have to exude enthusiasm at my spreadsheets,
They probably appreciate it if you did.
Oh, I'm
The
sure
little
give
clip
some
guy
little-
comes up, thank you for nursing for the day.
for your vigorous clicking. I don't know. It's pretty hard, because even right now we're talking about it, I'm very aware of the fact that I do most of my expressions with my face. So that's the feedback I got at Dream League. It's like, your face is doing all the expressions, but people can't see your face.
This is like, yeah, it does. It's like, no, that's not what we meant, Kips. I'm trying to give you feedback here. Come
Yeah.
on, look. But no, that's fair. It's like it's kind of awkward as well, because you get that feedback, and I know personally I beat myself up. Like if I think something's wrong, and it's the hardest part. I don't know if you experience this yourself. Is in that moment you have to put that to the side until the cast is done. You might know you've done something wrong, but in long days like that,
Yeah.
if you can't. It's hard. You have to not make a list in your head of anything you've done wrong? Because at the end of a 12-hour cast,
Not really, honestly. Because I think that with my experience working, especially tournaments for teams, you don't have time to let that distract you. I did that all the way at the start when I was like with analyzing for Fnatic. I went to bed at night and thought I had this, and I will need to do that better tomorrow. I don't really have that anymore, luckily. So at least I'm not beating myself up over it. But I am keeping it in the back of my head now for like as soon as I start practicing again, and I do want to practice it again because it's casting is so much fun. Then I'll bring it to the point. Right now, and during those days, it was like, all right, I can't do anything about that right now. I'll try my best, but you know.
I mean, thank God you were. I was kidding. I wasn't worried at all. I was too pumped up on Monster to know what was happening. I saw a screen. I
Yes,
shouted
it
at the
was.
screen. Hey, those Mango Locos were good. All right. So, looking right now at Kuala Lumpur, we've asked a few of the players who they think is a threat. Now, I got a confident answer from Google. But I want to know from you, like, who is the big threat to you and your boys right now?
There's a big threat in the run for the title. Ourselves. The only thing that's stopping TnC is TnC.
Pretty in sync, because actually, Cuckoo said something similar. He said that basically he doesn't really worry about anyone. He's just more worried about themselves, potentially tripping themselves up. Which, you know, it can happen. We see it plenty of times all year round each year. Is, you know, you get to that big stage. You may have been there before, like a year or two ago, but it's been a long run. You get there, one slip up, you choke. I mean, we've seen it in the biggest tournaments. I think it'd be fair to say we've seen it in TI this year.
Oh,
One moment.
It's pressure. But I think TnC is actually one of those teams that navigates the pressure much better than others because everyone is okay with the others slipping up. They're okay with pulling a little more of the weight if someone else doesn't have a good day. We had 2 days ago, we had an Armel Lina performance that was just like, you know, barely okay. He makes 2 or 3 plays that game that are really just unacceptable. But, you know, everyone sees that and they're like, all right, he knows he fucked up, we knows he fucked up. We'll just continue playing because, like, he'll be better next time. And maybe next time someone else slips up, and that's fine. So, in that regard, I think TnC is much more pressure resistant than those others. And it might even be to our advantage because if we're being fair here, LGD and Secret are currently playing on a different level than everyone else.
It's a fair assessment.
And if they get to play their game, it would be a massive upset for us to beat either of those two.
Yeah.
But if there's pressure, and if they do less well with their slip-ups, then, you know, maybe we are very relaxed about this sort of thing, then, yeah, brilliant.
So basically, they'll play their game, play your game.
We're going to play our game. We've been playing our game all tournament long. We just had to find a group a little bit.
So if we were to look at a team that's the biggest threat that isn't yourselves, would it make sense to say LGD may be that? Because I think the thing to compare there is, you know, this is a team that came through TI, they came so close, did not change a thing, moved by, continued on. It seems like they might be a team that can not blame each other, right? Like in that scenario, like if you compare it to other teams that we've seen shuffle, like almost everyone else has shuffled, right? Other than Liquid,
Yeah.
who's a big question mark, right?
But that does mean that the fact that they choked before is a different thing. I would be more worried about Secret. Secret right now are like, you know, this is a puppy team at the start of the season. They are in...
They're on a high.
They're on a high. Like, I want to go out on a limb here and say that they're right now at the best point that they're going to be for the entire year. It was like that last year as well. It was like that.
We'll clip that part and then we'll use it, like just before TI9.
When they have won everything there is to win, you know.
Well, they're bit, in fairness, they were there a few years back. That happened, winning
Yeah.
everything on the build-up, and then, you know, as VP proved this year, it doesn't matter if you win everything on the way up.
I'd like to see it be different this year, but so far it's looking very similar to last year's Secret towards the end of the calendar year, just winning everything. So, yeah, if I'd say I am more afraid, if I had to be afraid of anyone, you know, from Secret than of LG.
If she was afraid.
I'm not afraid.
See? Alright, so round things up. I'm asking everyone this because it's kind of interesting the different opinions you get. 7.2 just round the corner. Alright? Now I know you focus on the tournament, but when you take your eye off that for a moment and look to the future. A future of new gifts and blessings from Gaben. What are the gifts and what are the giant dumps that we're going to get on Dota in 7.2?
I would like Terrorblade to get dunked pretty hard. Please, Gaben, sir.
Ooh. I mean, he got hurt pretty hard with that Sunder, but yeah, he still needs to be nerfed.
Like, the illusions are too strong. If you pressure Terrorblade out of lane, you can just go jungle a level 3. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen that plenty. And it's like, any other hero you look, it's like, his game is done. And then 10 minutes later, you're like, Terrorblade's back in the game. And there aren't many heroes that can do that, especially with how weak the jungle is right now.
Yeah.
I think one of the most recurring themes I've heard today is about the XP denial mechanic, which I think everyone's in agreement is too strong.
Yeah. You get catapulted out of the laning stage if you win it too hard. And we've done that a lot, actually. I'm not going to say TnC has benefited from that. They're pretty strong laning stage. But it's really the amount of time that a team needs to invest in playing the map right until they can nullify that advantage again is way too long right now. It takes like 25, 30 minutes to get back into the game after you've lost the laning stage. So that's one team plays right for 10 minutes and then you have to play right for 30 minutes in order to get it back again. I think that's favoring the strong laning stage teams too much.
Yeah, you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the mistake because, you know, if they take such an early lead, you can make the argument, it doesn't matter, we'll bounce back later, but
Leads
it
compound
takes,
themselves.
like you said, 30 extra minutes to get to that stage where that one mistake can turn it around for you, you know, where the respawn time's too long, where they make one oops, you got buyback.
So we have these, like, if you want to have a back and forth game, usually what you have is a 10-minute laning stage won by someone, 30 minutes of other team coming back, and then you have the back and forth. And we've seen that a lot this tournament, which makes for some exciting endings, but, you know, you could also have that exciting game from, say, minute 50.
True. I mean, at least we're not in the old days of comeback gold to the extreme.
I mean, I think buybacks and correctly used buybacks are still very strong right now. You can see people being very liberal with buybacks on sports especially. And I actually want to say that I might want that to stay. Because I think that the risk of going all in like that should be rewarded. And I like it.
Yeah, I mean, early on doing that as well, it's like particularly, that's where support's most relevant. Usually it's early on, and any gold they get is huge for them. Picking up an earn quickly means a lot. If you have to expend a buyback instead at an early point, it's a big loss to you already.
Yeah.
You don't need to increase that loss, I don't think. But I think one thing to look at right now is, I mean, Roche has always been a central part of Dota. I'd say in the last year it has reached a whole new level of importance, especially the introduction of good old refreshing shards.
Yeah.
Which poses the question, is there an unfair advantage to one side of the map still?
In a way, like I think right now Dire is more suited to defensive play and Radiant is more suited to aggressive play. And that's not bad. It's just that I don't think people are using the map to their advantage currently. If you're a Dire, you can totally get people to leave Russian on either by defending the top side of the map or by putting heavy pressure on the bottom side. But you have to draft for that. And drafting for the side you picked adds a whole different layer to what you're already doing. And drafting is already ridiculously complicated. So yeah, I can understand that you might not be able to pull that off every time. So the problem is really that you're going to have to put Roche somewhere.
It's pretty right center of the map, you know. That'll make the mid lane interesting. But in fairness, it's a fair way to look at the game because I think the easiest hero to explain to viewers for is Broodmother. If you play Broodmother Radiant versus Dire, one is setting it up to win you the game. One is setting up to bait the enemy team. I think it's a fair way to look at it. And like that's the way I perceive it right now. It's like with Liquid, especially they'd always go for that second pick route up. And usually it's when they were on like dire side. The logic is that we know you're going to counter pick us, but we've already anticipated this because we have those nice creep camps behind us that we can just back up onto if things go wrong. Whereas these fifth pick routes are more dominant when it's Radiant side because the logic is, I know you can't counter me, I'm going to win the lane, and then I'm going to maximize farm. Yeah. So it's interesting that you mentioned that like aggressive versus defensive around Roche because it matters in many different ways. I mean, it's one of the beautiful things about Dota is because we don't have this symmetrical map. We don't only not get 30-minute games with 2 kills in, World Finals. We also tend to get different styles depending on which side of the map you're on. So, rounding out, any last thoughts, anything you want to get off your mind?
I love being back in Malaysia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's my first time here. It's very hot.
It is very hot. And it's going to remain like, every time you step outside of a building, it's going to feel like you get slapped in the face. It's just Malaysia saying hi. And I love the food. I love the people. I love the feeling of being here, I guess. It feels good. Glad.
I've been enjoying lots of mango juice. That's all I need.
I can't wait to see the audience tomorrow.
It's going to be nice. I've heard mythical things about the Asian audiences.
You're going to find out, man. It's going to be great.
Well, thanks for joining me, Kips. It's been a pleasure as always.
Sure.